Hi everyone, welcome to Basic Science Series. I'm your host Lokendra Kumar, and today we are going to discuss how to design a perfect title for your research article. I'm going to show you the guidelines step by step, and by following those guidelines you can improve the quality of your title. Title is the most important part of your research article. Title is the advertisement of your research article. So everyone who sees your title should understand the research study and should get attracted towards the study. After getting attracted toward the study, that person is going to read the article. So title is really important. So we're going to understand all those concepts and details to design a perfect title for your research article. One quick request: if you are new to the channel, please press the subscribe button, and if you like the video, please press the like button. Point number 1. First, try to identify the audience for your research article. Audience means whether your article is for undergraduate student, whether it is for PhD student, or whether it's for faculty members or senior researchers. Because on the basis of that, you can design the research article's complexity. So you can make it simpler to complex. So first, try to identify what is the audience of your research article. Point number 2. You need to identify scope as well as subject in your title. For example, if you are writing a study about antimicrobial activity of a compound, then you have to mention the subject. For example, in this case, maybe a name of the bacteria. And the scope is the antimicrobial activity. So these are the important things that you have to consider while you're writing a research article. So you have to consider the scope as well as the subject for the study. Point number 3. Try to write multiple titles for your research study. What will happen? Then you can get feedback from various researchers and try to also get feedbacks from non-science background people. Because if they can understand your title, most likely your title is already catchy or it's attractive to various audiences. So it is very important you write multiple titles for your research article and try to select one on the basis of feedbacks from various people. Point number 4. Try to avoid abbreviations and try to write a full name of a particular gene or a particular protein, because if you write the abbreviation, there is a less chance that people is going to understand what you have written. Although in biosciences, sometimes we use abbreviation and it's fine, but try to avoid abbreviations for a word which is more complex and is not going to increase the length of your title. So I would say it's a kind of judgmental thing whether you should write abbreviation or not, but try to avoid the abbreviation in the title. Point number 5, which is really important. Try to keep the length of your title short. What will happen? Then people can understand your title more easily as compared to the long title. But there is a point because you have to incorporate a lot of information in the title, so your title becomes lengthy, and if you short the title loses its information. So you need to create a balance between these 2 points, but try to be concise between the word limit of 10 to 15 so that your title is short and crispy and concise. Point number 6. Try to use the words which are catchy and can stimulate the reader's attention. So you can use those words on the basis of your research study. So you can find the most important words that you have used in your research article and try to incorporate those words in the title section so that your title is more catchy and it can stimulate the interest of the reader. Point number 7. Try to incorporate hypotheses as well as results in your title section. I know it's a lot, but I think with practice you can do this. For example, if you are working on a compound and you found some activity, so you can write a title in such a way it can show the results as well as the mechanism of action. For example, compound X has antimicrobial activity via membrane lysis. So you can actually propose all the hypotheses that you have shown in the research paper, and that will make your title really great. Point number 8, try to find out articles with similar titles. what you can do, you can download those articles and read those papers and also customize your title on the basis of the title that is being provided in that particular research article. What will happen, that will improve the quality of your title. And important thing is, download the research articles from good journals with high impact factors. Point number 9, try to avoid the words like study of, analysis of, or similar kind of constructions, because those constructions are going to increase the length of your title, but they are not going to add up any significance to your title. So try to avoid these kinds of constructions. Point number 10, which is more general comment for a title, and it also applies to full research article. Try to use correct grammar and do not make any spelling mistake in your title. You can give your research article for review to another researcher and try to see whether he can find any error in your title. It is really important because it puts a bad impression on editor. So try to avoid that mistake.
All right, everyone. Okay, so we discussed all the guidelines that we need to understand to construct a beautiful and amazing title for your research article. Now it's time to do a reality check. So I'm going to show you some of the articles that were published in various journals, and I'm going to discuss the title of those articles so that you can understand the construct of a title. And we can compare those titles on the basis of the guidelines that we discussed. So I'm going to discuss a few of my articles because I have done the study, so I understand what we have done in that one. So it will be easier for me to discuss everything about those articles. So let's first go to my Google Scholar. There it is, Google Scholar profile. So that's the Google Scholar main window, and I'm going to go to my profile here. Those who are new to this channel and are watching this video for the first time, I already have a new old video on Google Scholar that explains how to use Google Scholar, what are the benefits of Google Scholar, and what are the limitations of Google Scholar. So I have explained in detail about Google Scholar. So I'm not going to explain anything about Google Scholar here, but I'll put the link in the description box. Okay, so these are my articles. Let's select one of the latest articles. So how about this one? Okay, so I'm going to click on this one. This article has been selected in Biophysical Journal, which is a great journal, and that publishes the articles in the field of biophysics. So let's discuss this particular paper. Okay, right now this is the preprint of this particular paper. So okay, this is the abstract, so we are not going to go into the abstract because I'm going to make a separate video on abstract. So let's discuss the title. So this is the title of the study. Okay, now first guideline told us that you need to identify the audience. So since the audience in this case will be undergraduate student, master's students, or graduate students, therefore you can see we tried to incorporate the words like allosteric. So if you are not familiar with allosteric communication, so you are not a perfect audience for this one. So you need to be at least undergraduate or a graduate student to understand this article. So we knew that we are focusing on this particular audience, so we use that particular word. Now second is the subject and scope of the study. Simple, right? Two things. So in this case, the subject is matrix metalloprotease 1. So we are focusing on a particular enzyme, which is matrix metalloprotease 1. And we have mentioned that particular name in the title. And also, second thing is the scope. So scope, we are trying to understand what is the effect of the domain communication. So here we have mentioned that communication between domains, and specifically allosteric communication between domains, modulate the activity of MMP1. So you can see we have mentioned the the particular scope of the study, as well as we mentioned the subject of the study in the title. So that fulfills the guideline number 2. Second, we already wrote many titles. So we wrote different titles, and then we selected this one after getting feedback from various researchers from scientific as well as from non-scientific background. Another thing is avoid abbreviation. So matrix metalloprotease can be written as MMP1, but we avoided that. We have mentioned that in the abstract, you can see here, and then we use that particular word in our paper, that particular abbreviation in our paper. But you can see here we are not mentioning that the short form of that particular word. We are mentioning a full word. So it is really important that you don't use abbreviation in the title. Okay, so that fulfills the one of the guideline. Another is the length of the title. So I mentioned that we need to have a length between 10 to 15. 15 is the max. Okay, and if you can construct your title even less than 10, that will be great, but you have to convey all the information that you want to convey in that title. So you can see in this case we have 1, 2, okay, let me just highlight 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If you're not considering this one as a word, then I would say it's, or if you're considering full matrix metalloprotease a word, then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8, 9, 10, and this is the range where your title should be. You can go up to 15. After 15, your title will sound like a very complex sentence, and that will create an issue for you, because various audience is not going to like your article title of your article. Okay, so that is the very important part, that we have a very short title. Now, important part is whether we are conveying the result and the hypothesis. So this is really important part here. In the shortest form possible, we have to convey the result as well as the hypothesis of that particular study in the title. And that's where the creativity comes in. You have to construct a title which explain these aspects very clearly. So you can see we have mentioned that the activity of the matrix metalloproteases, protease 1 is modulated. So that's the result. Activity has been modulated. Okay, so we mentioned the result using allosteric or because of the allosteric communication. So that was the hypothesis. So we have done various experiments, single molecule experiments in this case, and that conveyed the message very clearly that allosteric communication allosteric communications between two domains of matrix metalloprotease 1. Matrix metalloprotease 1 is an enzyme. It contains two domain. If I can show you, that will be much clear for you to understand what kind of enzyme is that I do not want to discuss full paper because it will take me forever to discuss this particular paper, but I want to show you the picture of that particular enzyme. We have a very beautiful figure. So you can see these are the two domains of matrix metalloprotease, and they are sitting on a triple helical collagen. And we have shown in this particular paper that communication between these two domains actually modulates the activity. Activity of this enzyme is to cleave this collagen substrate. And communication between these two domains results in the modulation of the activity of matrix metalloprotease 1. So that was the theme of this particular article, and we have done a lot of experiments to explain that. As you can see, this was the hypothesis and that was the result. So we have result as well as hypothesis in the title section. So this is how you should design the title of your research article. Okay. Next is do not include the study of analysis of, that was the guideline that I explained. So I'm not explaining anything. For example, single molecule study reveals allosteric communication between domain modulate activity of metalloprotease 1. That could be another option to say that this particular study revealed that. But then we will lose the importance of the hypothesis and importance of the result if we include that. So most of the attention will go into the single molecule part, right? So that is an important part to consider here. And last was we should always pay attention to the grammar and English of the paper as well as the title. So we have done that. And as you can see, the title seems very catchy, and we have got good comments on this particular paper. So that means the title is great, and you can see title is short and crispy and explains everything. I also explain very easily what the title wants to convey to you, right? So I would say from my side, I have shown you a real example of constructing a particular title for your study. The study that I have done with all the group members that contributed significantly to this particular study. It was not one-man study. Everyone in this particular study has contributed highly significantly. They worked really hard to complete this study. So I want to acknowledge everyone who has contributed for this study, and also I want to thank everyone that we have this nice paper out there in Biophysical Journal. So anyway, so title, I want to mention that again. I want to mention that this is how you construct a title, and those were the guidelines that you can follow to construct your title. So if you have any questions, any comment, or if you want to send your title to me, I'm happy to read the title of your study and provide my comments on your title, and I'll be happy to provide additional suggestions to improve the title. So for now, that's all from my side. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. And if you like the video, please press the like button.
Thank you for watching my video, and if you like my work, you can support my work on patreon.com. I'll put the link in the description box and you can visit the website. And lastly, if you like my videos, please subscribe to the channel.